Hello, Pisces. How are you? Welcome. I hope you're doing very, very well, Pisces. Let's see how your energies will be for February 2026. We'll do a general reading for the new month. Remember that we'll go over the details later in the new videos we upload to the channel. This reading, in any case, applies to all those who have their sun, ascendant, moon, or Venus in the sign of Pisces. Pisces. I invite you to follow me on my other TikTok and Instagram accounts, where I will be uploading new content for all of you. Let's channel a message for the sign of Pisces for February 2026. Pisces. This begins with the Fool, the Three of Wands, Death, the World. Wow, what energies to start with. Really good ones, actually. Because what I feel is that Pisces, in this month, there are not only energies of freedom, of liberation, but also of having been able to, like, whether it's getting something off your shoulders, it could be a burden. But this is also related to the end of a cycle of learning, the end of a journey, the end of a trip. I don't see a Pisces freeing himself this month from insecurities, fears, or prejudices. And he dares to show himself, not in an original way, but in an authentic way. All of that potential you've kept inside, that personality, that way of being, is going to start being shown. Without fears, without taboos, no, without fear. Also, without worrying about what others will say. Why isn't there fear? Is it because you've let go? Have you realized that a cycle in your life ends this month? And this is also related to the changes you're going to feel this month, right? This transformation, which might touch on very deep issues, can also involve matters of the unconscious, situations that you may need to face. But you have really good energy to overcome all of this and to know how to let go. Because by being able to let go and having this attitude that's open to the future, by being clear about what you want from now on in your life on a personal level, this is a rebirth in your life. This is the birth of a new version of yourself. A new Pisces, a Pisces who dares, a Pisces who has faith in the future, who has a new vision of life, who plans a great month to plan this year. No, but I feel like your personality is going to take a 180-degree turn. You can really see a very, very, very powerful change there, right? And it's a change that invites you to jump into something new, into the unknown, into expansion, into growth. No, to have a new vision of your life and a new vision above all of the world. To the extent that you can free yourselves and put an end to what you no longer want to repeat. Put an end to your past. Put an end to situations that no longer make sense, that you no longer connect with. Whatever they may be, not relationships. Maybe a job. Start freeing yourself from this, not fearing loss, because you know that in this liberation you are making space for everything new that wants to come into your life. That's why this is a Pisces who takes the leap, who jumps into the unknown, who doesn't know what comes next. But he trusts in his resources, he trusts in himself. And I feel that in this act of liberation and closure, you are going to receive a reward. You are going to receive a prize for having been able to overcome challenges, for having been able to overcome situations. Let's see what else we have. February 2026. Pisces sign. It's said in the King of Wands, they have the Pope, they have the Five of Cups, here the Queen of Cups. Well, there's a conversation. Here there's a conversation, there's a choice. And this also has to do with this decision you've made. A person is very involved. Affective issues, emotional issues. This could be a couple's relationship, maybe a romantic relationship. I see that you're going to have a very honest conversation, speaking your truth. And there's no fear here about speaking. There's a daring Pisces here, showing a new personality. And many Pisces traits are emerging in you. This month, you're going to start communicating everything you've been observing, everything you've been analyzing, everything you've been studying, especially regarding your emotional landscape. So you're going to start talking. You're going to start writing those messages, sending those messages, inviting that person. I need you to listen to me. I need you to listen to the information I have for you, to give you information I have to offer you, because you're at a point where you know how to handle words, and you have a solid foundation. You're dealing there with a truth that will be transmitted, so there's a lot of confidence when facing a situation. I feel like you're confident in yourself, in your power, and surely able to talk to that person. And this might have to do with a resolution, something related to clearing something up with someone. Maybe you've realized that the relationship isn't working or that it's going in different directions. This can vary for each of you. If you've really been, I feel like you've been very patient. Have you waited? I don't see any attitude of conflict or fighting here. On the contrary, it's about talking in a calm way. Speak with that truth, with everything you've been seeing and analyzing, and maybe put an end to it here. Because this conversation, which will probably end a relationship, is also a test for you to say, hey, in the end, I was able to do it. I wasn't here just putting up with it in a relationship where I felt things weren't working. I haven't stayed in a relationship out of habit or necessity, but because I made a decision. Why? Because you're clear about what you want for your future, for your new version of yourself. And this whole process, which we're talking about, closures and endings, is feeling intense, and we include this break, this ending. Yes, there are emotions involved, and there's no coldness. There's a kind of mourning. There's a detachment. There's also a process of emotional release that you might be feeling. It's like letting go of something or someone, and you go through a lot of situations, but also be prepared, because life has something else prepared for you on an emotional level. And this isn't closing your heart. It's not good. I'm not going to meet anyone else, no, but I feel that this farewell or this closure symbolizes the end of a cycle of relationships. What's coming now is going to be different. What's coming now is going to be different. I feel that this closure brings the opening to a connection with a person where love is genuine, where love is true, where love is unconditional. They're setting conditions, not playing mind games like being here one day and gone the next. Here you have pure love and empathy. You all are going to realize who it is. You'll sense and feel it, because I feel this person is going to show themselves to you in a very kind way. They're going to be very generous, very warm, and even very protective, I would say. This is a wise person, someone who has worked a lot on their heart, who knows what they want, who also has a lot of information to share with you, who likes to talk and enjoys communicating. So that's why I say one door is closing in your love life, but another one is opening. Attention, Pisces. This could also be a great month to start planning some kind of study if you are interested in studying a degree or taking a course. This could be a great month to start defining and taking action. Let's see. More? We have February 2026 Pisces sign. He says goodbye with the Page of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and we have the Seven of Swords, and here we have the Four of Cups. Yes, there are no doubts, Pisces, about what we've talked about the closure you're going through. It's no longer the time, Pisces. This month is a month to open your eyes. It's a month where information comes like lightning, and this information that comes wakes you up, activates you, connects you with your power, with your higher power, with your inner power. That's what I mean by your inner fire. It motivates your decisions. This month is full of learning, especially about what you need to let go or release. Is it pretty clear what you've decided, what you're going to decide regarding this closure? Someone may be deeply attached to the past. The thing is not to fall into self-deception, not to fall into doubts, into guilt, also into just being present. The information will be there. And there's an emotional situation where I feel that life wants you to go through that test. This is like a lesson in the emotional field. How, Byron? I want to connect with a healthy bond. I want to connect with a relationship where I am reciprocated, where there is balance in giving and receiving. It's better that it's a cycle of bonds and relationships where there have been lies, where there has been dishonesty, where there have been deceptions, where there has been manipulation. A cycle with people with whom you're no longer vibing, you're not in tune. Maybe they've been comfortable relationships. That's why this month is a great awakening. It's about not deceiving yourself, being honest with yourself, also accepting the truth about what isn't working, especially when it comes to relationships and preparing yourself and opening up to new things. Because beyond the fact that I've talked about it, there's also a new person who's showing up who's slowly getting closer, especially through messages and conversation. It may be that at first you're not completely sure about this person, and that's normal because you've been going through a process of closure. And sometimes it's hard at first to trust someone new right away. It won't happen again. This person isn't like my past connections or relationships. So it's okay to have doubts at first, but don't close yourself off too much. Take some time apart, moments for reflection, for silence. But also give yourself the chance to open up, to first see how you are emotionally inside. How are those cups? Are they full? If you are giving to yourself before looking outside and then opening up to get to know this person, let's see which major oracle, the major arcana, will be accompanying you during the month of February 2026. We already have the Pope. The information flows, many messages. It could also be a change, a tension, a change of habits, routines, beliefs. Thank you. Attention to that. Thank you. Pisces. We have the Lovers. And we've talked about these decisions you're going to be making, especially in the emotional area. The choice you're going to have to make. There is indeed a test in the sentimental area, but this energy is precisely telling you to connect, to choose from the heart. Don't choose from your wounds. Don't choose from that place. Otherwise, emotional situations repeat themselves where it seems like you're just talking to someone out of habit, or just to avoid being alone. Or you take on the role of the savior, the famous savior, or you sacrifice yourself for love. Perhaps the energy here suggests there will be an important lesson to learn this month. in the emotional area where you need to be honest with yourself in order to be honest with others. I think that's why I say that love is also going to surprise you. And there's a person here. I also feel a very spiritual connection, a soul connection, a connection with a lot of wisdom, a connection that will go slowly, that will take its time, but it will be real. A person you will enjoy listening to, and who will also really enjoy listening to you, dear Pisces. This is what we've seen for February 2026. Have an excellent month, and I'll see you here next time. Bye.